I'm Corianne Etienne, and today I'll be sharing with you one of my favorite summer dinners, grilled eggplant with spicy arrabbiata sauce. I'm using Sunset Grown's baby gourmet eggplants because I love the fact that all of their produce originates from natural plant breeding, and they're part of the Non-GMO's project verification program, which makes eating them so much better. I mean, really, the thought of my eggplants dancing around with beautiful bumblebees and ladybugs just makes my dish that much more delicious. So starting with the arrabbiata sauce, we'll be using the stewed tomatoes that we made from earlier. They are going to pair beautifully with the eggplant. I've got a medium saucepan here, and I'm going to pour in my stewed tomato sauce, taking care not to spill any. And adding some onions and garlic that I browned earlier. Absolutely, the smell, so delicious. Kind of blend those together. And of course, you can't have a pasta sauce without a little bit of red wine. Always taste it before you put it in. About a cup of red wine. You can be a little bit more generous because the alcohol will burn off, but I think a cup will do for today. Kind of stir that together, and then you need about a cup or so of tomato paste. That'll give it that really lovely tomato taste, and a few glugs of olive oil, just to really bind it all together. Give that a nice stir. Kind of fold it through together. One of the tricks I learned is when you're stirring tomato sauce, don't just stir it around, but fold it to avoid spills. And then of course, for the arrabbiata, you need just a few handfuls, pinches rather, of fresh chilies. I liked mine to have a little kick, so I went a little bit crazy. And then you need some beautiful fresh basil and oregano. Now, you really can do any sort of size that you want. You can leave them whole, but I like thin, nice little strips. Gives it a bounce of color everywhere throughout the sauce. I love flowering oregano. Pop that right in. Keep those for later. And then a squeeze of lemon juice. You can't have a summer dish without a little squeeze of lemon juice. Give that a nice stir. And then really you want to know what you're cooking. So a little bit of a taste will tell you what you need. I could have it as a soup right now, it's that good. I'm going to pop it on the stove and bring it to a boil, and then reduce it down and allow it to simmer while I cook on the eggplant. So the trick with eggplant cooking is that really they do cook quickly, but sometimes they can take a long time depending on how thick you like them. I'm going for a ribbon effect today. So I'm going to cut mine nice and thin using a mandolin. Please, when using a mandolin, use your safety guard at home. Do what I say, not as I do. Right through, and we'll do one more for good measure. I love how they are so delicious. Just nice and thin, and then coat them with a little dabble-do-ya of olive oil. Not too heavy on the olive oil, just enough to give it a nice, hear that sizzle? With this thickness, really you want about a minute on each side. Any thicker and you'd be looking for about 2 to 3 minutes on each side. And you know, I'm feeling generous. One more. Pop these over to the side. You know, when you're cooking with olive oil at home, don't wash your hands off, darlings. Rub it around. It is so good for your skin. Pop those right over. Going to give them a little bit of a turn. And just turn up the heat a little bit. Sometimes you got to get hot in the kitchen. While those grill, I've got some spaghetti that I cooked earlier and just topped it with a little bit of olive oil while it was resting so that it doesn't stick together. Go. And I'm going to go grab my sauce. So it's lovely and hot. Already a nice dark rich color. Give it a nice stir. And I've got my dish of pasta. And before these eggplant burn, I'm going to just lay them across the top. There's nothing better in this world than the smell of freshly grilled vegetables. Lovely grilled vegetables. I'm just going to spin that round, just kind of mix it through. Perfect. And then spoon on my sauce. Lovely. And then because I can't help myself, I've never been a fan of pasta with sauce just on the top. I feel like it needs to kind of dance around in the bowl together. There we are. Oh, look at that. The eggplant is literally kind of ribboning through the pasta. And then one more devil do ya for good measure. All you need, darlings, is some lovely crunchy bread and a little bit of cheese and, of course, a little glass of wine. Enjoy.